Have you ever wondered why so many people start experiencing strange, seemingly inexplicable symptoms as they age? Fatigue, loss of balance, ringing in the ears, sudden memory lapses, that eerie feeling of being out of it. Most chalk it up to aging. Well, that's just getting older. But the truth is much harsher. It's not just age, it's how you wash your hair. Yes, you heard that right. Thousands of older Americans make the same mistake every day, never realizing they're slowly damaging their brains, one step at a time. And it all starts with hot water and tilting the head backward. Seems harmless, right? But only at first glance. The incident that shook her family, Mary Henderson, 74, from Ohio, widow, mother of 3 adult children, a lifelong, energetic, independent woman. She lived alone, drove herself around, shopped, and was the heart of her local church. It was an ordinary day, an ordinary shower. She washed her hair like always, tilting her head back under hot water. She stepped out, took a few steps, and collapsed. The ambulance arrived 15 minutes later. The hospital's diagnosis: stroke. Doctors confirmed it. Overheating and the sudden backward tilt of her head triggered a vascular spasm and oxygen deprivation in the brain. Within 2 weeks, Mary couldn't speak. Within a month, she didn't recognize her own children. Why does this happen, especially after 70? Because by this age, your blood vessels are as fragile as glass. They lose elasticity. And when you tilt your head back under hot water, you're creating the perfect storm. Blood drains away from your brain. The temperature in the back and top of your head spikes. Vascular pressure fluctuates rapidly. The result? Oxygen starvation in the brain. Even if you don't feel it, your neurons are suffering. Microstrokes can occur silently, without obvious symptoms, but they accumulate. Then comes sudden memory lapses, loss of balance, an unsteady walk, and later, dementia. Here's what you need to understand. It doesn't happen all at once. It happens every time, every hot shower, every backward tilt, another hit, another step closer to the edge. Worst of all, it happens silently. You just wake up one day and don't remember where you are. What can you do? Sounds scary, but it's preventable. Right now, no prescriptions, no costly treatments, just awareness. Here's what to do. Never wash your hair with your head tilted backward, especially in the shower. Keep the water temperature no higher than 98.6 degrees, about 37 degrees. Comfortable, safe. Wash your hair separately from the shower if you can, ideally standing upright or seated without unnecessary head tilting. Why is this so critical? Because one wrong move and everything can change. Not because you're weak, but because your body, with age, plays by different rules. Your head is your memory, your personality, your essence. It's what makes you you. Protect it, because next time you turn on the shower, it might not just be water. It might be the point of no return. How many times have you told yourself, or heard from loved ones, "I'm just tired"? Probably my blood pressure. Just stood under the shower too long, nothing serious. But the truth is, sometimes it's not just fatigue. It's a sign your brain has already started to break down. Not metaphorically, but literally. Fatigue could mean neuron death. Older people are used to enduring discomfort. They've lived through a lot. But when you experience ringing in the ears, heaviness in your head, slight nausea after a shower, this isn't just getting older. It could be a result of oxygen deprivation in the brain caused by poor head positioning and exposure to hot water. Tilting your head forward in the shower is especially dangerous. At that moment, neck vessels get compressed, intracranial pressure spikes, the brain receives less oxygen, and, critically, local tissue damage begins. This is backed by neurologists and clinical observations. When your brain regularly experiences oxygen deficiency over months, Micro damage accumulates. You don't feel it right away, but after 6 months or a year, it's dementia, or worse, the complete loss of identity. A story that sends chills down your spine. George Miller, 81, from Sacramento, lived alone. Every morning, he started his day with a hot shower. He'd tilt his head forward and scrub his hair hard, just like he always had. A few months later, he started mixing up dates. A year later, he couldn't recall his youngest grandson's name. Diagnosis: early-stage vascular dementia. Cause: overload of the brain's vascular system. Doctors said, typical for his age. But George's family is convinced. It all began when he started complaining about weird feelings after his morning showers. He kept washing his hair the way he had for decades, but his body was no longer the same. It's not age. It's your actions. You're not aging. You're slowly destroying yourself. Through a habit that seemed harmless. It's not your fault you didn't know, but now you do. And now, it's your choice. Here's what needs to change. Stop tilting your head forward in the shower. It's one of the most dangerous positions for blood vessels after age 70. Wash your hair standing upright, or even better, seated. Use a handheld shower head. Don't stand under water pressure. The handheld option gives you control and safety. Pay attention to your breathing. If you feel increased heart rate or head heaviness in the shower, stop immediately. That's a red flag. You're not losing energy. You're losing memory. Every time you say, "I'm just tired," think, is a part of me disappearing right now? The part that holds your memories, your personality, your voice. Because in those moments, you're not just washing your hair, you're washing yourself away. Before it's too late, change what's silently destroying you from within. Or one day you'll wake up and not remember why you're here. Have you ever felt slightly off balance after a shower? Like the ground under your feet suddenly turned soft, unstable? Some say, "I must have gotten a little dizzy." Others, "The water was too hot." But no one says what really matters. This could be a direct sign of brain damage. This is no exaggeration. It's the result of overheating deep brain structures, especially around the temples and the back of the head. Deeper than you think. When you direct hot water straight onto your head, especially onto your temples, you're not just washing your hair. You're heating up the tissues responsible for balance, coordination, memory, spatial orientation. And if you're over 70, your brain can no longer absorb those shocks. Water hotter than 104 degrees, 40 degrees, can cause localized overheating of nerve endings, trigger vascular spasms, and in some cases, even brain ischemia. That means partial oxygen deprivation in the brain. For a senior, overheating the brain is like a short circuit in a computer. Everything may seem fine on the outside, but inside, systems begin to fail. A true story that changed lives. Betty Randall, 74, from Florida, was in great shape. Daily walks, gardening, chatting with friends. But she started complaining about feeling odd after showers. Weakness, dizziness, ringing in her ears. "It's probably just the heat," she would say. But 8 months later, diagnosis: early-stage Alzheimer's. Neurologists ran a full evaluation. Their conclusion: regular overheating of the head, especially in high-risk individuals, may trigger neurodegenerative processes. For Betty's family, it was a devastating shock. But by then, the damage was irreversible. The brain isn't eternal, and there's no undo button. You must understand, neurons don't regenerate. They're not muscles, not skin. Overheat one section of your brain, and that part of you is gone forever. And often it starts with the simplest thing: a shower. What should you do? Never direct hot water onto your temples or the back of your head, especially if you've had issues with blood pressure or memory. Wet your hair gradually. Take breaks. Don't let water pour down full force. Never wash your hair on an empty stomach. Morning plus hunger plus hot water, a dangerous combination. Use only warm water. It's better to underheat than to overheat. Remember, your brain is your personality, your memory, your ability to be you. You won't feel it slipping away. But one day you may forget your grandchildren's names, and no one will blame the hot water. But now you know, and that means the responsibility is yours. You've lived 70, 75, maybe even 80 years. You have experience, wisdom, knowledge. You've seen it all. Joys, losses, change. And yet, this might be your greatest enemy. Habit. It makes you feel confident. It whispers, "You've always done it this way, and you were fine." It's what makes you ignore the warning signs. It's like a trembling hand, gently yet steadily, nudging you toward the edge. I've always done it this way. One of the most dangerous things you can tell yourself, because your body changes, your blood vessels wear out, your brain loses protection, and regeneration slows down. What didn't harm you at 40 could be deadly at 75. How many seniors lie today in nursing homes, neurology wards, rehab centers? All because one day they slipped in the bathroom, lost consciousness, felt a sudden jolt in their head. And it all started with the shower, the same routine. And at that moment, no one was there. You must come to terms with something frightening. No one can save you instantly. If you live alone, help may come in 3 to 4 hours, maybe even the next day. If you have a microstroke, it won't always be obvious right away. But the consequences will show in a week, a month. You'll start mixing up names, forgetting why you walked into a room, losing touch with reality. And it all began with standing in the shower, just like always, just like you always did. But while you're reading this, you still have a choice. You're not helpless. You're not broken. You just did something wrong, not out of malice, but out of habit. And habit is not a life sentence. It can be changed. Here's how to start. Install grab bars in the bathroom, even if you feel steady. Wash your hair while seated. Support your back. Don't bend forward. Be mindful of every step. The shower is not a place to relax. It's a high-risk zone. Ask loved ones to check on you if you take too long. That's not weakness. It's smart protection. Old age is not the end. But bad habits can bring it closer. Every day is a chance to push back that line, the one where illness, frailty, and loneliness begin. You're not a machine. Your body doesn't run like it used to. You're human. And you deserve to age with dignity, with a clear mind, with memory, with the ability to speak to your grandkids, to laugh, to reminisce, to share your stories. But for that, you must act, now. Because if you keep living on autopilot, the system may fail. And today could be the day you finally stop destroying yourself. One step, one change, one shower, done differently. This isn't about fear. It's about choice. Your choice.